For your second assignment, we're going to be working with Imagery. And for this assignment, I've provided a zip folder of high-res stock images that you're going to be using for this. So I want to get you used to different effects or different techniques that you can use working with photography in packaging design. So these are the 7 things I want you to do. The first is masking. Taking the image of the cereal bowl and masking it off the background. And I'm going to give you how-tos on videos on each of these. Number 2, you're going to take the photo of the model with the blow dryer. We're going to mask her off and put her on a solid color background. And I'm going to show you some tricks of the trade as far as giving her some beauty effects on there. This one is probably going to be the most complicated, so it'll probably have 2 or 3 videos showing you how to do the various effects. The third is a mezzotint effect. That's where you can take a photo and give it a kind of a stippled black and white effect. And I'm going to have you do that to the image of the coffee beans. Then I'm going to have you place it over the image of the natural brown paper. That will replicate some of the techniques I showed you in the previous lecture. Number 4 is what we call a duotone, which is 2 colors, or if you want, you can do a tritone, which is 3 colors. But there's an image of a athlete, a runner, and I'm going to have you change the color into the duo or tritone technique. Color change. This is actually something that comes up a lot with clients and products. They may ask you to suddenly change the color of a shirt or the color of clothing or the color of any of the details in there. So on the shoes, we're going to change the color, and I'll show you how you can go about doing that. Creating a color pattern from an image. I'm going to show you how to do that with the bamboo image. And then finally, this is probably one of the easier ones. You're just going to take the image of the cinnamon roll and crop it in such a way that you really show the detail as if you're doing packaging for, say, Pillsbury or something. So for each of these, what you're going to do is work in Photoshop. And for the final thing, what I want you to do is work on a 6" by 9" vertical canvas. Watch the videos on each of the techniques. Now you're going to save each file 2 different ways. The first is as a PSD, which stands for Photoshop document. That's your working file. It's the mothership. It's your master file. So that if a client comes back and wants changes made, you don't have to start all over again if you've saved your work in working files and they're layered. Then there's going to be the file that you're actually going to put in a document to send me. That needs to be a flattened file. It also needs to be one that's converted into cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, or the CMYK color space, which is used for printers. If you send a photo in a file to a printer and you leave it in the native RGB, red, green, blue color space, oftentimes the file will get rejected. So you want to make sure you always convert your files before they go into a printed document. You also want to save them as a TIFF file, not a JPEG. TIFF files are higher res. And again, if you submit something to a printer with JPEG files in it, will oftentimes be rejected. So these flattened CMYK files are going to be placed in an Illustrator doc, and I'll show you how to set that up. You're going to save the whole assignment as one multi-page PDF and label it with your last name, O2, and you can either upload it to Canvas, or now that we're working with images, the file may be too large. You may want to send it through Gmail, and you also may want to send it through Gmail, but do it through WeTransfer.com, which is how we send really large files. And we'll see at the end how big this file is and whether we need to do it. Again, the due date is at the bottom here. You can see that. So in the following videos, I'll show you how to do each of these techniques.